Hi, so I'll do a quick review of your game. There are two main takeaways, two main points that we probably should work on, that will help you the most. And they will come up multiple times during the game, so I will just give a quick explanation beforehand, and then we can see them in practice during the game. First one is not to overcommit to an area, let's say, when there's a lot of space still empty. Like, what I mean is, it will be easier to visualize it if you think it like this, like black plays here, white plays here, black has a stone here, white has a stone here. Like, if you see it like this, it's very intuitive, but like you can definitely see that these black stones are gaining very little. Just each stone is just adding a couple more points to this area, while white is getting a lot of potential points elsewhere. And if you see it like this, it's intuitive and pretty clear, but during the game what happens is that you often tend to add stones to places where the potential to add points is very little. And it amounts to the same situation, and it will be easier to see it in practice. But this is the first concept. The more stone there are in an area, the lower the point potential in that area. So it's especially in the opening, adding stones to an area that is already being played is very inefficient. Second point is shape. This one is a bit more vague and difficult to describe. Shape is what we call the concept of putting your stones in shapes and that make them more efficient, more difficult to surround and to bully around, and keeping them together and connected. This is actually multiple skills together. It takes some reading, some experience, and it's not easy to pick it up all together at first. So I will just show you some I'll show you the violations and what would be good, and see if we can start from here. So let's go. This one is first kind of shape problem. This white stone is kind of inefficient. Like, we're trying to build houses, and it's more efficient if a house has vertical walls. If white wants to, like, the difference between these two is white stones are the same, as two stones are the same, but in this case white has a bit more access to this area. It's a bit ahead here, and in case white later on gets some stones here, having a vertical stone will help a lot more in developing a territory than horizontal stones would. It's not a big mistake, but there is no reason to go horizontal here. There's no reason at all. This is the first example of what I was saying. We are in the opening, so we want to play as wide as possible and never defend something that doesn't need defending, and not overcommit to defending our points. So this corner is already good enough for the opening. There's not much white can do here to get in. Like, white can, white can do something like this maybe, but all that white did here was gain a couple points, like reduce black's corner by a couple points and gain a couple points here. So all in all, it moved the score by maybe 10 points, probably less. It's too small for the opening. It's just a too small move for the opening. This kind of moves, we call them endgame moves, because the endgame is the only part of the game where points are the main concern. During the opening and the middle game, what you should aim at is not making points directly like this, but controlling the board, because that will make actually getting points later on much easier and is more efficient. So adding defense to this corner right now is it's too much. It's overcommitting to a small area. More common response would be something like this, or this. This gives you more points here. It gives you more access to this side. It works better with this corner, and is actually better for the corner, for the defense of the corner, because in some cases, if you go down like this, a move like this could become annoying. It's not so easy to. It's not a big deal, but it can become annoying in some circumstances. So, getting this is called. You can call it getting a base. It's not proper term here, probably. We could call it getting an extension. So extending along the side makes this group a lot stronger. It's more difficult to surround. It will be less vulnerable to being poked and attacked, and so. Extending is a much better idea. And this one is a prime example of the second problem, which is shape. I know this mistake was not yours, but I will cover it anyway because it's a useful example. This is the most mentioned bad shape in Go. It's called an empty triangle. It's 3 stones with an empty space here in the middle. If there was a black stone here, it would be fine, but there is not a black stone there, so it's a really bad move. And the reason it is a bad move, there are multiple reasons actually. First of all, it's extremely inefficient. If you think of all the ways you can place 3 stones, like for example something like this, or a straight line, or even something like this, the empty triangle like this is probably the one that gives you less surface area, less influence on the surrounding. It's very over concentrated. It's like everything. The whole shape here is 3 moves protecting a single point. Here, it's like 3 moves, 3 whole moves, just to protect one single point, and so it's extremely inefficient. And second, it has less liberties. It's like mathematically, if we can take even this one, which is kind of heavy, but this one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 liberties, and an empty triangle has only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it has less liberties. It's easier to surround. It's easier to capture. It will be prone to a lot of bullying. So it's really no reason to place a stone here compared to anything else, unless what you are trying to do is protect the stones here, protect the points here. Say, for example, later on in the game we have a lot of stones here, and it's the end of the game. The whole board is played out. Now white wants to defend the points here, and white has a stone here. Now this move is fine because we care about the points and we want to protect it. But as we said, the opening is too early to care about the points, especially so few points here. So a better move for white would be more or less anything else. White could play away, white could extend, white could jump, white could attach, white could come here, white could come here, white could come here. Like anything else would be better than this at the moment, more or less. Okay. And let's go. This one is fine. I think I still prefer the extension, but this one is fine. So here we can see the same shape concept. The black stones here are working better together. They have a better overall shape. They cover a lot more space and have access to the side and the center. While white stones look very heavy and compact. They could be later on potentially harassed just by, even something like this would look very annoying for white to deal with. So this is the general concept of shape. You want your stones to work well together, not be too clumped together, and not be prone to being bullied and attacked. White's move is fine. A bit more to the center would be better. The reason is that here white has 2 points where they can make a 2-space extension. So if black comes here, white extends here, and the other way around. 2-space extension on the third line like this is often considered good enough to provide a local defense. This is called making a base. It's not completely impervious to attack, of course, but it gives you enough space to get one eye here locally, at least, and some exposure to the center in case later on you need to run out like something like this. If black adds a stone here, black should always take the wider side. So here there are 3 spaces, here there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So no reason for black to defend here. Like, you can choose between making 10 points or making 4. So you take 10 points. No reason at all to push from the other side, especially in this case, because if you push from here, white can make a base, and if you push from here, white cannot make a complete base. White can only make a 1-space jump. Okay, that's fine. I will make a base. This really stabilizes the white stones here. You want, before you make many other groups, you want generally you want your groups the groups of stones you already have to be solid, somewhat at least somewhat stable. And having a base like this will help a lot. Okay, this one's not ideal, but I'll skip ahead for now. It's not. We can go over it another time. Just a minor example to show the general concept of shape. Like here, you can choose to connect this stone like this or like this. This gives you potentially 1 more point, but the thing is, you don't get that one point because white can immediately come down here, and this stone will be captured if you don't add the stone here, and white gets a free move from this. And now this stone here in P17 is kind of useless, because if you look at it the other way around, you could have connected like this, and white does not get this free move. Here you would not play like this. This move doesn't add anything. You would play elsewhere. And this again is a general concept of shape. You have you should look for ways to make your stones more efficient and not give this kind of free moves exchanges to your opponent. Same mistake as before. This stone does nothing at all. It just makes these 3 stones heavier and more easy to attack. If white wanted to extend in this direction, white should at least jump like this. Something like this would be better, but here white is creating too many problems for himself. As we said, you want your stones to be somewhat stable before you you create more groups. And here you already have one group that is kind of unstable, one that could become unstable, and you're adding a third one which is not completely connected, and this connection is not perfect, and this one is definitely not perfect either. So better idea here for white would be simply to keep extending. Just one move like this is makes this group a lot harder to attack, and you need it. I would attack this group first. Small ahead a little. Okay. General advice: when you attack something, cutting it often helps the defender more than it helps you attacking. It sounds a bit counterintuitive, but the moment you cut, you are giving your opponent a free a hostage. It's like this one is a stone that they will be able to potentially bully later on. In this case, I think it can work, because white will have to leave with this, or like this, and then black might take these stones. I don't know. It's difficult. Could be a difficult situation. It's not important right now. But this one is kind of a shape mistake. If you attack like this, you do this kind of move only when you're trying to sacrifice something, because by playing like this one stone immediately becomes very weak. So unless there is you are already extremely strong around, and you can and you are certain that you can capture these two stones, a nose attachment like this, as on the nose of these two stones, it's often too much. You are just helping these two black stones to come out. There are better ways, probably. I think like this should be better. But yeah, this is a general idea. If you do this kind of nose attachment if you are directly planning to sacrifice these two stones to come out here. Otherwise, attacking directly like this, touching your opponent, helps them more than it helps you, because your stone now is weaker than theirs. Skip ahead a bit. Okay. This one is another example. Well, I think probably you can add a stone here. Let me think. Yeah, I would add a stone here. This one looks can potentially create problems later on, especially because I think this white group can leave. Okay, so let's go. This one is an example of what I was saying earlier. There is still more than 3/4 of the board that are completely empty. You played a lot of moves here, which tends to happen a lot when a fight starts. When a fight starts, the fight becomes the most important area, so both players start playing there, and add a lot of move in the same space. But when once the fight ends, and the fight now is kind of over, looks a bit dangerous, these cuts here for white, but let's leave it alone for now. So if white wants to make points, adding another stone here shouldn't be the main idea. The efficiency principle, the efficiency order for the opening, for making points in the opening, is corner, then sides, then center. If you are playing this, you're saying that this center is more important, which probably isn't. There are still two corners that are not either enclosed or approached, so those should definitely be the main idea. And even more so for this. Unless there is some way for white to get out, is there? Maybe there is. Yeah, here there is. Here white could have gotten out, so okay, hiding a stone here is fine. Now, here these stones are fine. White cannot get out anymore. White can leave. Well, this move by white doesn't do much, doesn't do at all. White, black should play elsewhere, but white could potentially leave here, I think. At least try a core or something. That's not important now. Now here, this fight is over. There is no way for white to cut through anymore. So either black adds a stone here to secure, to completely kill these white stones, which is possible, but it still feels a bit early, or black should just play elsewhere. And it kind of feels time to play elsewhere because white is getting a lot of stones here. This is definitely small. This is clearly a clear endgame move. This is one of the moves you will play in the endgame. This is a pretty big endgame move, but it is an endgame move. Black should ignore and play elsewhere. Also, this created a big problem for white, I think. It's not important. But the main idea here is that black should play elsewhere. Let white come in. These stones are still safe. The stones here are still alive and safe, so white getting these viewpoints here is much smaller than you taking control of the rest of the board. This one is extremely small, extremely inefficient. It's really, really bad move. Don't do this. Don't do this. It's too early. Play where there are no stones. If you play near stones you already have, do not play attached and do not bend like this, creating an empty triangle. If you want to play in this area, you should jump like this. Jump 2, jump 1, jump with a knight move, jump with a long knight move, whatever, but don't play attached. Don't play attached like this. This is just too heavy, too small, too slow for this early in the game. Play here, so much open space still. And likewise, black should not play here at all. Absolutely not. There is nothing that white can do. Like here, imagine you play here. What can white do here? Push here. It takes away 1 point from you. Like you can. Here you have 1 point, and if you play elsewhere and white pushes, you don't have that 1 point anymore. So this exchange takes away 1 point from you. Do you think this move here is worth less than 1 point? This is any move here in this open space will be worth at least something like 10 points, more or less. Same thing, just play elsewhere. 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 Okay, this one is better at least because at least it gives you some outside influence. It's not good, really good, because it creates a big cutting issue. You never want to place a hole in front of your solid opponent's stones, like this. If you, I would still like jump here, but if you really want to push from here, you should at least jump once like this. Oh, finally, black plays away. Yeah, okay, I want choice. When your opponent touches you, you almost always want to touch back. As it's a matter, the first player who adds a stone here gains a local advantage. So, like, this white stone has 3 liberties. This black stone has 3 liberties. The first player who adds a stone will get an advantage because this white stone now has 2 liberties. And it's 1 stone against 2 of yours. So you have a local fighting advantage here, and white will probably have to do something about it, or you will gain an even bigger advantage. On the other hand, if you play like this, white gets an opportunity to play outside, and it can go in a few different ways. Let's play a couple random moves. See that you do gain a few points here in the corner, but it's very few points, and white is starting to build kind of big here. White has a lot of stones outside. Yeah, different order, but same concept. Really good, extremely good result for white. This the points you gained here in the corner are probably not worth as much as the stones white gain outside. Okay, here is the ladder thing. This is yeah, it's really bad. don't play ladder if they don't work. You said that it allowed you to gain access to the center, but it shouldn't have. The only reason it did is because your opponent made a mistake. Your opponent should have come down here, simply. And now these 2 stones are completely stranded inside white's territory. White's group is really strong, and these are only have 3 liberties, and they will have to jump. It will be difficult to defend them. White will be able to continue pushing them down and gain a lot of points. So yes, you could have gained a couple stones here, but they will be a liability more than anything. There are better ways. If you wanted to gain access to the center like that, you should just gain access to the center. Just play in the center. No reason to. If you play here, you wouldn't play like on your opponent stones, because this makes you extremely weak. You want to play when you have space to live and to make a base. So yeah, this was a mistake from white, and white should have sacrificed those stones, because this outside is a lot bigger than just 4 points. And yeah, this was a reading mistake. No big deal. A few reading issues, but skip ahead a little. This one is important. Probably add a stone here because it's kind of the same concept as before. If white adds a move, white gets a free move here. It's really big. Ignoring this would be significant asset for white. I think I would add a stone also because poking here with a black group is really big. It allows you better access to the center. White will probably have to defend a bit. But in this whole exchange, which kind of felt good for black maybe, but if you look at how much you gained 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, let's go 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 15 points. And I think white gained a lot more here. Like all these white stones, white's wall here is so strong now. It completely secured this area. I think it would be, if it wasn't for this cut here, this kind of exchange would be definitely good for white. White is gaining more than black. Okay, same as before. Yeah, same here. This exchange feels a lot better for white. I would probably add a stone here, maybe, as this feels a bit better, but it's fine. Or something like this. That's not important. Same as before. This is just you're gifting white points and nothing else. White should come down. You are gaining nothing. Well, actually, white here can also capture, and if you threaten to capture, white can just play elsewhere. So this capture is very small. It doesn't threaten anything. And okay, I think we are. There is an invasion here. I think this works. But it's a bit dangerous for black, for white. Okay, skip a bit. Ouch. Ouch, again. Come here. Connecting these white stones now is a priority, because they're risking getting caught inside. Keeping cutting like this will just help your opponent. You're giving them ways to live, because now if they put this stone in Atari, for example, you will have to defend it and they gain free moves. It helps them live. Black is alive. When you're defending a large area, especially if you're this strong, never touch your opponent. When you touch your opponent, you put your stone in a weakness, in a weak spot. Your stone is now weaker than the black stone. Maybe nothing will happen, but at the very least, black will be able to bully it. It's you're just giving your opponent a way to live. What you do is simply block their way in the direction with the most space, without touching them. Not touching them is really important. The no touching part is really important. Here, this is probably better because of the cuts here, or even this feels painful. Yeah, the problem here is the cuts, but yeah, this should be better. And cutting only helps your opponent. No reason to cut. You don't care about capturing one stone. You care about black not living inside here. So to prevent black from leaving, you don't try to capture a single stone, because this allows black to just, I don't know, jump outside and do things. You don't care about this one stone. You care about preventing them from leaving inside. So this. Block the direction with the most space. You don't care at all if black does this. Of course, here there is still all these cutting problems. So maybe this, but yes, painful. Yeah, maybe this again, because this cut is still problematic. This cut had a little. I think this one here doesn't really do much. If you want to make sure, you add a stone like here, but I think like if you want to make sure, you should add a stone here. Don't attack directly like this. Okay. This was a mistake. It wasn't easy to see. Now adding a stone here is not necessary. It doesn't work anymore. I think I'll cut it here. You said that not adding a stone here in Q10 was a mistake, but it really isn't. Multiple reasons. There are multiple ways you can handle this. First of all, you can just come down, and these stones are dead, I think. Don't think there's anything that white can do here to live. Second, you can do this very nice thing, and again these stones are dead. There's nothing they can do to live. Okay. Yeah, this one's very good. This one kills. So it's a wonder, of course. I think you already mentioned this one. Should just connect. White cannot do anything. Well, white can take this, but this is even worse. Adding a stone here is not necessary. White cannot live. You can just add a stone here. Or cut. And I'll cut through. Okay. I think it already went a little too long. I'll cut it here. The main points here were not overcommit to small places, and keep an eye on shape. We want to maintain a strong local shape. Okay, thank you. Let me know if you have any questions.